Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm not
Wow.
there.
I was there and then not there.
Okay.
What's
now
going on?
I promise we practiced today too. I promise.
This is what happens.
This
This is what happens.
All right.
So I'm at my house, so my connection should be pretty good. So I'm excited to rock it out with you guys. What's up, Brian? What's up, guys? How are you?
Awesome.
Good stuff.
So we know we have several folks jumping on. I don't know if you want to give it a few minutes, Ray, or if you want to get started. That's up to you.
We're getting a little bit of a late start. I say go ahead and rock out and reward the people that made it.
Awesome. Okay.
Let's do it. Yes. Hey, guys, gals, and Team V. So we are proud partners of this new adventure, Lisa and Russ Kennedy. And, you know, Lisa and I couldn't, first of all, congratulations to the people on tonight. You could have certainly been watching Sox Nation and getting ready for Bruins playoffs. All the stuff we love, along with slam dunking our favorite snacks. No more. We are on to something hot. And Lisa and I could spend the rest of the night listing the accomplishments of our very special guest speaker. While a consistent killer content that he delivers that impacts so many people, he's not afraid to, you know, throw in an occasional bathrobe pose to make us all laugh.
Happens.
All right. So as most of you know, Ray is married to the beautiful social guru, Jessica Higdon. He's a father of 3. He's a 2-time best-selling author, former #1 income earner in network marketing company that he joined while he was in personal foreclosure. He shared the stage with people like Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, and many others. Ray and Jessica no longer are building a network marketing team because they're focusing on serving the profession as coaches, speakers, and trainers. Coaching company was recognized on the Inc. 5000 as one of America's fastest growing companies. And they absolutely love helping network marketers grow large teams and create freedom. So I was thinking about it, and I first listened to you, Ray, last year. It was about a year ago. I've been following you ever since. And the only thing better than listening to you is listening with this guy. And the only thing better than that is listening with all of these people. So thank you for taking your time tonight. We have a special little gift for you that we'll send down to you. I don't know if you can see it. You see that?
Airheads.
They're airheads.
I'm going to turn a profit on those.
Yeah. I think about a 15-cent profit, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
So thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, my pleasure. Really appreciate you guys having me on here, and hopefully you'll get some value from tonight. Sorry for the little bit late start here, but we're rocking and rolling now. And so I'll just share real briefly. I don't want to assume, you know, people in here know who the heck I am. So just real briefly, I'll share my kind of story and how we got here. Is you know, my whole life I've been a pretty hard worker. Born in Indiana, been in Florida here for 28 years though, and Southwest Florida, and always been a hard worker. And I worked my way up in the corporate world, and I noticed a few things. So I noticed that you know, the harder I worked, the more they would pay me, but the more they would demand of me. And so there were times where I couldn't make it to the soccer game with my boys. I couldn't make it to certain school functions because they needed me on a project. And it was routinely brought up that, you know, I just received a, 3 to 5% raise. So they could easily demand more of me. And I looked at my boss, I looked at his boss, I looked at her boss, and all of them were making more money than me, but were also more stressed out. And I saw my life as, man, I'm going to be one of those of, being in an office, highly paid and highly unfulfilled and stressed out and not seeing my family as much as I had worked so hard to provide for them. And so I did something that a few people do, and that's I went out on my own as an entrepreneur, not in network marketing just yet, but I went on my own in real estate here in the state of Florida back in 2004, 5, 6. Real estate was red hot, and went into real estate and did pretty good for a little bit until the market changed, and I realized I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, and got completely wiped out. And so here I was, dead broke in personal foreclosure, being chased by bill collectors, and I'd gone through a divorce. I'd lost, again, every dime I'd made my entire life. I started dating an amazing young lady that was working at the makeup counter, started paying my utility bills, later became my beautiful wife, Jessica, which you mentioned earlier. And I really didn't know what I was going to do because, you know, I was just in a really, really tough spot. And a friend of mine, I'm very, very grateful for my friend Chris out of Cape Coral, Florida. He invited me to a home meeting, and I had dabbled at network marketing in the past, had never created anything successful, and I kind of sworn off it, to be honest, because you know, I had some, you know, bad, I don't know, bad, just whatever with uplines and different things like that. Maybe I wasn't coachable enough, and maybe they were, I don't know, just a little too hardcore on me. I don't know. But, you know, I had sworn off it, but I decided, you know what else am I going to do? I have no money. I have a couple credit cards left that haven't, you know, realized that I'm not paying them, and I can still get money. And my credit was shot. And so I decided to run at it. But I made an absolute vow to my girlfriend. I said, listen, Jessica, the next 2 years are going to be hell. I'm going to run at this thing as hard as I possibly can. And I don't know what it looks like, but I know what the next 2 years are going to be just sheer hell. And I told her, you know, not that we were doing date nights at that point, because you know, I'm dead broke. She's supporting me, and we sometimes made it out to Dollar Burger night at Bar Louie. But other than that, we weren't doing anything fun, extravagant, romantic, or anything like that. And so I ran at it, and I was determined that I was going to make this thing happen. I was going to figure it out. And so I just went after it like crazy. I had read a book called Go for No, and it just made sense to me. I'm like, man, if I just set a no goal every day and I just hit that, success will be inevitable. And that's something that you may want to write this down. You might want to write down is my daily routine, or should I say, will my daily routine make success inevitable? So in July of 2009, I decided that I was going to go for 20 no's every single day, and I was going to do 1 to 2 videos every single day. Now, I believe if someone really sucks, but they do 1 to 2 videos a day, and they get 20 no's a day, and they do that for almost any extended period of time, that will make success inevitable. And I don't know if it's year 1, I don't know if it's year 2, whatever, but I'd already committed to 2 years. And to be honest, if at the end of 2 years I still wasn't there, I just recommit for another 2 years. I was going to make this happen. I didn't know when. And that's one of the X factors in network marketing, is you don't know when. Some people you see come into network marketing and they just kill it, man. They just, right? They just, you know, 4 days top earner, and they're just making, you know, 10 G's in 48 hours. It's amazing. And those are unfortunately the stories that get spread the most, and they cause the most grief, right? So learn as a leader, learn to start sharing more slow success stories, because that actually inspires more people that need inspiring than fast success stories. And if you are going to share fast success stories, then you need to share their downs. So, you know, if I had someone that came into my organization and just boom, first month, $10,000 a month, I would find out what challenges have they had in their life. And I would build that into the story. So I would never say, hey, everyone congratulate Joe for hitting $10,000 a month their very first month. It's amazing. Because that's only going to inspire about 3.5% of the entire team. And it's going to uninspire about 97%, because everyone's thinking, well, I didn't do that. Well, I didn't make that in the first month. Right? They're going to have a tear in their beer. They're going to be very upset and sad face. And it's just going to work out the way that you think it is. You think it's going to pull people like, yeah, that's what's possible. Well, yeah, it'll do that for 3.5% of the team, maybe 5% max. But the rest of them are going to be uninspired. They're going to be, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not designed that way. So I would never share that. Instead, I would say, hey guys, I want to introduce you to someone named Joe. And you know what? Joe grew up in a split home, and he grew up in a very poor family. And, you know, Joe struggled his entire life. In fact, he failed, you know, algebra in 10th grade. And, you know, he's almost held back 11th grade. And the guy never finished college. In fact, and he hurt his knee in football and wasn't able to qualify for the team. I'm going to share 52 different things, different obstacles and struggles that Joe went through. Then I'm going to share. And can you believe it? After all of these struggles, after barely being able to read, after not finishing college, after, you know, struggling in a broke home, and you know, you see what I'm saying? And then you're rooting for Joe. You're like, yeah, Joe, get it, baby. And then you say, well, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. Or if he can do it, maybe I can do half of what he can do. See, that's inspiration. not the, speedy success. Look at what they did in 48 hours. That actually uninspires more people. It discourages more people than possible. There's really nothing you can possibly do to discourage more people than solely sharing fast success stories without the background, right? So you got to dig sometimes. You got to dig sometimes for that background, because maybe they've been winning for so long that you got to kind of warp time here and kind of, not manipulate, but kind of pull information from their past to make people root for them. You don't want people to just hear a fast success story and immediately not root for them. And that's what happens. And so I went after this thing, and I was going to make it happen. And so through the 20 no's a day, through the 1 to 2 videos a day, I got to, in 5 months, I'm at 10,000 a month. In 7 months, at 40,000 a month. And in 10 months, I'm at 50,000 a month. And that we never actually, decreased, from there. And I share that with a full acknowledgement that not all of you will have had as many struggles as I had. I was dead broke twice. I was in person foreclosure. My parents did, split when I was 3 years old. I did grow up with an abused childhood. I was addicted to drugs at one point in my life. I'm not proud of that. I was just a year before, making it happen in that network marketing company, getting blackout drunk multiple times a week because I felt like a loser. I'd lost it all. And there's something different between, if you've always been broke, right? That's actually better than having made lots of money, then be broke. So if you're used to ramen noodles and you're just like, yeah, baby, these things are 43 cents, these are awesome, then, it's not that big a deal, right? To go from 2 servings to 1 serving. It's not that big a deal of, getting the bumblebee tuna versus the chicken of the sea, the fancy stuff. And so, it's not that big a deal, right? If you're used to wick cheese, like I used to be at one point in my life. But if you're used to the filet, and then you go from filet to the ramen to the filet flavored ramen, that stings. It stings. It's humbling. It is a little punch to the face, but it's something that was necessary for me. I look back and I say I needed foreclosure to happen. I needed that punch to the face because it made me much, much, much more appreciate the world around me. It made me much more appreciate friends. It made me much more appreciate money. It made me much more appreciate value in the marketplace. And I needed that to happen. And one thing that I shared, I believe today in Rate Makers, is when you set a goal, right? When you set a big goal, and I don't mean, hey, I want to make, $1,000 a month or something like that. When you set a big goal, a life-changing goal, that you want to travel the world, that you want to, decrease the divorce rate, that you want to increase the confidence in single women or disabled veteran, that you want to stop the, help build clean drinking wells in Kenya. When you set big goals, okay, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, the master strategist, whatever you want to call it, is going to say, okay, all right, you got that big goal? Well, you got some growth to do. Whammo, whammo, whammo. So for me, the whammo was the divorce, the foreclosure, the losing every dime I'd ever made my entire life, the public shaming. I had basically a shaming ceremony of all the people I was connected to in real estate, that when they learned that I was now in network marketing, they're like, oh, real nice. Couldn't make it in real estate, huh? Right? So I had all kinds of shaming going on all the time. People talking trash about, people sending emails. I remember people saying to my face when I joined that network marketing company, well, how long are you going to be in this one? And I'm like, well, you're supposed to say that behind my back, but I appreciate it. Thanks for the motivation. Haterade's my Gatorade. And so, it wasn't a big deal. So all of that stuff, I think a lot of people that aren't successful, they wish for some rainbow-like unicorn time with babbling brooks and fluffy pillows. They're just I'm gonna set a goal and I'm just gonna prance in there, just right atop my steed, and just no obstacles, no roadblocks, no machine guns firing down upon me or crows trying to peck out my eyes. But it's just not the case. If you have a big goal, and it's something that you don't understand how to get there, then you have to grow, and you don't grow with wins. You don't grow, you grow with obstacles. You grow with struggle. And so people that have, maybe not the level of success that they want, I think they believe that people that are more successful, it's only because they had an abundance of support and a lack of obstacles. And you'll find it's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. You look at people, Elvis Presley, he tried out at Opryland. He was told, go back to being a truck driver. All right, thank goodness he didn't listen, to their advice. You had Walt Disney fired from the Kansas City Star because he lacked imagination, right? And so the list goes on and on and on. We've heard all these stories. At one point, J.K. Rowling was single mom, devastatingly broke, on government assistance, and within 5 years, a billionaire. And that's a lot if you think about it, right? So I feel I'm kind of a slacker, because I was dead broke, and 5 years later, I'm not a billionaire, right? And so I'm a little bit of a slacker. I need to take the Rowling School for Success and write some amazing books or something like that. But, it's something that if you have a massive goal, you are going to have obstacles, landmines, kicks to the shin, punches to the face placed in your way. Now, if you don't have big goals, what are we even talking about? No big deal. No big deal. Just keep moseying through life, and, you'll get what life hands you. So if you don't have big goals, if you don't feel that there's DNA pumping through your veins and there's gray matter in your spine that is of Alexander the Great and the great emperors and conquerors over the years, and the great amazing female inventors and people out there of history, if you don't feel that you don't have that kind of DNA pumping through your veins, which you do, and you don't have big goals, you don't care to make an impact in the world, then just keep moseying along, and life's going to hand you whatever it is it's going to hand you. And your expectations aren't that great, so what's the big deal? And so my suggestion is, if you want to create something worthwhile, you're going to have to make a commitment. And in my opinion, the most eloquent definition and explanation of commitment that I've ever heard is from a gentleman named George Zalaki. And George Zalaki says, commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you set it in passed. Okay. And so what I love about that quote, and I may be mangling it here a little bit, but what I love about that quote is it's the recognition that when you make a commitment, you're of a certain feeling, and that feeling and mood will pass. And so there will be a time where you don't want to continue on, but commitment says, who cares how you feel? Keep going. And so it just depends what your goals are. And I'm going to help you leaders out there too, because most of the time leaders will come to us, and we've worked now with we've personally coached probably 25 people with over 100,000 people in their team. Right now we have one of our clients, Jeff, has 500,000 in his team. Nicola built a team of 300,000. Luciano 100,000. That's just our current clients, but we work with probably 20, 25 people that have built teams of over 100,000 people. And here's something that you really need to embrace that the bigger leaders get that a lot of the smaller leaders don't get. And that is 80% of your team is going to have a level of desire of $500 or less a month. And you're going to want to change them. And you're going to say, well, Ray, I'm going to come up with this leadership training. And this leadership training is going to get them fired up, man. It's going to transform them and from a pretty bird to an eagle, just swooping down upon business. And so that's like me saying, you know what, I got this aluminum foil over here. And you know what, I don't really care for aluminum foil, but I really like gold. So I'm just going to manipulate it into whammo, gold. You're talking about alchemy. Right? You're talking about, let me alter science. Let me alter mathematics. Let me alter the Pythagorean formula, however you say it, right? It's math. So whatever size leader, let's say you're a really tall leader and you lead from a top, right? You just look down and say, hello, I'm extremely tall. Let's say you're a leader with amazing hair, or with an eye patch, or a wooden leg, or you have super strength, or a superb mustache. It doesn't matter what kind of leader you are. You will have 80% of your team that has a level of desire of $0 to $500 a month. Now, leaders don't understand this. They don't comprehend it. They're like, what do you mean? Don't they all want to make $1 million like I do? No, they don't. You think they do, but they don't. Okay. There are 80% of your team that are happy. $0 to $500 a month is their desire. And the reason there's a large amount of them at $0 a month is they just like belonging. They like being part of the team, part of the mission. And the only way you'll get rid of them, if you hate volume in your organization and you're just like, you know what, I really wish 80% of my volume would just go away, right? It's hilarious to me, because leaders will come to me and say, oh, my team's not doing anything. I'm like, are they buying stuff? Yeah, but they're not recruiting. I'm like, okay, All right. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, what should I do? I got hundreds of people buying product, but not recruiting. I say, you know what? I got a master plan, man. It's going to be awesome. You ready for this? Write this down. They're okay. Okay. What do I do? All right. You want to send them a thank you card. Boom. There you go. And they're like, what? Don't I want to send them a get off your butt card? No, because their level, you have a leader, someone who's a 5%er, someone who wants to make $25,000 or more a month is a rare bird. And you think I'm crazy here. People think I'm nuts. But the reality is, go any job any of you leaders have ever had, was everyone in the company just super motivated, just really after that corporate ladder, they wanted to make that six-figure salary? No, not at all. Okay, those of you, let's scratch that. Let's say it's a bad example. Let's talk about the gym. So when you go to the gym, everyone there wants a six-pack abs, right? They're bending, they're busting water bottles, they're ripping phone books, they're flipping tires and biting anchors, right? And they're whipping around big chains and just CrossFitting and they grow a beard, right? All of them, right? No. Oh, you're saying that they have different desires and different levels of fitness goals. Ah, that's interesting. Well, maybe that's just, specific. And so gym owners are actually smarter when dealing with human beings than network marketing leaders are. Because if I show up to the gym and I just go on the row machine for 4 minutes and I'm just like, whoo, man, I am just whoops. And I go over there and I get my 2,200 calorie peanut butter chocolate banana shake, just right? Do I get a guilt trip from the gym owner? Is the gym owner saying, hey man, I don't see you in here diesel. I don't see you in here flipping any tires, boy. What's wrong with you? No, they say, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And guess what? Because I feel welcomed, I say, I'll keep coming. I'll stay on membership. I get those confused sometimes. I get a little funny. And so the point of that story is there are people in your organization that will only leave when you make it evident that they don't belong there. Hey, you guys don't belong. You're not rank advancing. You're not leading. Beat it, kid, right? You'll have people, and I know people that have been in their network marketing company for 25 years, spending $200 or more per month that have never made a dime, and you couldn't drag them away. You couldn't drag them away. They can't be dragged away. Why? Culture. They're made to feel good. They feel good being part of the mission, being part of the culture, being part of the leadership, the part of the community. They feel fantastic being part of the community. If you master that, then 90% of your work is done. You know who needs the least amount of work, the least amount of attention? The ones that get the most, the 5%ers. Your 5%ers aren't even checking out the Facebook group. They're recruiting. They're going toward their goals. They're attending events to sharpen their skills. But everything in most team groups, it's all about build the business. Here's how to recruit. Here's how to prospect people. Here's how to text bliss. Here's how to the group is all business, but 80% of the people are there because they love the community of the group. And once the culture and the community becomes evident that maybe they don't fit in, they leave. It doesn't inspire them. If I go to the gym, how many times do I have to hear that I'm a disappointment before I cancel my auto ship? Membership. I did it again. I'm sorry, right? How many times? It's crazy. So one of the topics that I feel, and you guys expressed that may be valuable to share is that level of commitment. So when you join a network marketing company, and when you guys join this company, if you have any kind of income goals, any kind, it's ludicrous for you to even consider not being here a year from now. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'll tell you a quick story. And this is just a microcosm of network marketing and all of the businesses, to be honest. So once upon a time, me and my partner, me and a business partner of mine, before we discovered network marketing, which in my opinion is the lowest risk, lowest overhead way for the average ordinary person to start a business. Before we discovered that, we bought an advertising franchise. And, very similar to network marketing. It was only $40,000 to join and close to $4,000 a month that we had to pay each and every month, regardless of sales. So very similar, very, very close model, intertwined. And so we dropped 40 G's, and that business, long story short, is we worked a lot with local businesses. And so I remember at the time I'm living in, actually at that time I wasn't living, we were building the business in Naples, Florida. And so I'm going business door to door. So imagine, 90 million degrees outside, walking the paving, the blacktop, and just sweating and crazy, and going business door to door, who are always super excited to see ads salespeople, right? They're like, oh boy, are you a salesman? Yippee, come on in. So again, very similar network marketing. And so, so I remember I went to this restaurant and I see right on the top, it says grand opening. Grand opening. And I'm like, oh, cool. I mean, grand opening. They need marketing, right? They definitely need marketing. And we had, without getting into too many details, we had a special arrangement with restaurants where we actually, in exchange for some of their real estate they weren't using, let's just say that, in exchange for that, we would actually give them free advertising on our website, free advertising around town. It really, for restaurants, killer deal. Didn't cost them a thing, right? So restaurants, killer deal. And so I go to this restaurant, my grand opening, easy peasy. These guys want marketing. And so I explain the deal to them. I'm like, it's not going to cost you anything. It's all we do is we hang non-competing ads in areas of the restaurant that do not interrupt the decor, that don't mess up anything for you. And we take your ad, which we create on our own dime, and we place it all around town to drive traffic to you. How's that sound? And the lady, the owner, was like, okay, that sounds good. And so I hand her the franchise, contract, and the franchise contract, $0 out of pocket. And it says in there, and I believe it was 5, but it may have been 3. And it says in there, 5-year agreement, right? 5-year agreement. So 5-year agreement. And that way, because we're paying, right? We're building the ad frames. We're building the ad itself. We're paying for a graphic artist to design their own ad, right? So we're really, their major win, us, potential major loss. Because if we put up these ads and spend the money and they tear them down, then, well, that sucks. And so here's a 5-year agreement, doesn't cost you anything. And she looks at it and she goes, 5 years? I don't even know if I'm going to be in business. This was at the grand opening. Okay. And very similar to network marketing, a restaurant will run you about $250,000 to $400,000 to start, right? Any restaurant. Ask any restaurant owner that's in your team that's desperately trying to get the hell out of there, all right? Just ask them. Say, hey, how much it cost you to start that restaurant of yours? I know a lot of, I know, not a lot, but I know a few guys that own Domino's Pizza. Just so you're aware, those of you who maybe haven't looked into this sort of thing, it's very similar to network marketing in that if you buy a Domino's franchise, it's $250,000. But fortunately, they say within 10 years, you should get that investment back. That's a good deal, right? Is it? I mean, is it $250 to join V? Is it quarter mil? No, it's less. Oh, okay. All right, got it. I thought they were very similar. But so here's this person that has spent minimum. I mean, this is a pretty good sized restaurant. My guess would be probably on the upper scale, somewhere between $350,000 to $550,000 is my guess. Don't even know if they're going to be around in 5 years. And guess what? They weren't, because that was their mindset. You're at the grand opening. You should think, man, I can't wait to open my third chain. I can't wait to franchise this baby and go to the moon. No, they won't sign a free agreement that they'll even be around in 5 years. This one location. And so that's the mindset of people. And so when I was building my network marketing business, when my wife and I were building our network marketing business, if I talked to someone and they told me, you know what, I just want to be a customer, I'd say, welcome aboard. Awesome. Clear expectations. High five. Let's do a selfie. All right. Awesome. Clear expectations. I love clear expectations. If they said, well, I need to make some money, I say, okay, how much time are you willing to put in? And I say, well, I can put in X, Y, Z. If they dropped me a line of, well, I'll just see how it goes the first month. Do you know what my advice was? This is literally no filter. This was my advice. If someone said, I want to make money in this company, and I'll test it out for a month, I would say, you know what? I want to help you out here. Save your money. Go get yourself a nice steak dinner. Go get yourself a steak dinner, have your favorite beverage, get that nice, tiramisu, or get yourself that lava cake that's just so yummers, because that will deliver what you're looking for. right? It'll be, pretty hard to go to a steak restaurant, get a nice steak, get a chocolate lava cake, and be disappointed. So my suggestion is invest your money on that, because that's going to be a clear result. You're going to love it. It's going to be a great time. Get a picture while you're there, because that makes way more sense than you dipping your toe in the water for a month. It makes no sense. Now, if you want to be a customer, all aboard. All aboard. You keep your credit card on file, we'll keep shipping you stuff, or we'll keep providing you access to the service. You want to make money? There is no plan for you to make money in this organization of any kind of magnitude, small or large, and you not be here a year from now. And if you're not committed to that, then I hate to disappoint you. I'd rather you have a nice steak dinner. Send me a text with a picture of you, like, yum, right? Send me that, because that would bring a smile to my face. What would bring a frown to my face is if I allowed you to come on board with unrealistic expectations that make absolutely no sense. And most of the times they'd say, you know what, you're right, and they would commit, right? They would at least commit at the time that they had the mood, to do it in. And so, leaders, you need to understand that there are going to be people that come into your organization that never have a level of desire higher than $500 a month. And you need to be okay with that. You need to congratulate them, welcome them, make them feel special, send them thank you cards, because those are the people that make up 80% of your income. Now, I know that you spend 92% of your attention on the 5%ers, which don't require as much attention as you possibly can give them, but the 80% are what makes up your check. And it doesn't matter the size of organization. When I talk to Jeff Algebers, one of our clients, 500,000 people in his team, which is a lot if you think about it, he's got 6 to 10 leaders, 6 to 10 people that are driving the masses of the organization. But what makes up their team? What makes up 80% of their team? People that are happy to be there, that don't have humongous income goals. And if you can just get that, if you can create a culture where everyone is welcome, regardless of their level of desire or regardless of their level of result, you will build much larger organizations than some people that get to 6 figures, and that's a magical number, or even $1 million a year. I want to share with you guys, $1 million a year in network marketing. Hey, that's apparently very impressive. In the business world, that's a mom and pop yogurt shop. Maybe they just expanded to Reese cups, right? That is not a lot of money, guys. And so stop comparing your network marketing empire to a salary, because $1 million a year salary, that's pretty hefty. That's pretty darn nice. Very few executives make that kind of money. Start comparing it to a business. And if you start thinking like a business, $1 million a year is your local yogurt shop, is your frappe stand, right? It's not a lot of money. Keep going. And I love one thing that I heard from, and I believe some of you have connections to this gentleman on here. I believe Brian does. But one thing that really inspired me that I heard Bob Proctor talk about, and Bob was talking about his mentor, and he said, went to his mentor and he said, oh man, how come you're on the road so much, man? You're 80 years old, or however he was, something like that, 70, 80. You're 70, 80 years old. You're on the road all the time. You got plenty of money. Why are you doing this? Why are you driving yourself ragged? I mean, you're 70, 80 years old, still going around the country and the world speaking and doing the hard work. And his mentor said, well, the last time I checked, there were still people left that needed inspiration. That's powerful. And so if you're on here and you're a leader and you're just starting out making, and maybe you're at $250,000 a year, $1 million a year, $10 million a year, whatever it is that you're at, I assure you that there are more single moms out there. There are more disabled veterans out there. There are more people on welfare out there. There are more people sleeping on their mom's couch because life hit them between the eyes. There are more people out there looking for inspiration, and you may be the only key on this planet that could turn them on to turning their life around. So my encouragement to you is, regardless of what income level you're at, keep going, keep impacting. If you believe in your product, your service, your opportunity, your leadership, your culture, your community, keep going. Keep introducing people to this amazing opportunity, this amazing profession, and these amazing people that you're surrounded with. So don't be selfish. It's not selfish for you to build a $10, $100 million a year business. That's not selfish, because here in network marketing, for you to create success, you can't be selfish and just not impact anyone, right? You can't say, I want to be the top earner, but I don't want to help a darn soul. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't do it. So even if you're super greedy, super selfish, you're all about the money, you're still going to have to help some people. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You're still going to have to help some people. And so I hope that this was helpful. I think we went a little bit longer than planned, but I hope this was helpful to you guys. You know, one thing that I did tell Lisa and the gang that I would talk about is, you know, you guys are in our Rank Makers group. I'm not going to do some big pitch, but if you'd like to learn more about our private community where I go live every single day with a simple action step, with accountability, and with a whole bunch of other stuff, you can check it out. We made a special kind of behind the scenes link for you. And by the way, the Kennedys do not get any benefit from this. We don't pay affiliate commissions. We don't give them a kickback. I don't send them a toaster or anything like that. But you can check it out if you would like. It's currently closed, but we have a backdoor link at higdongroup.com/Kennedy, I believe. Is that all right? Yeah, higdongroup.com/Kennedy. And if you'd like to check it out, you certainly can. And if not, that's totally cool too. I hope you got some value from this, and maybe you know, 2 or 3 people got inspired, and we'll go out there and triple their business or 10 times their business. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully, we'll build a even greater relationship with the company. I believe you know, Robert Kennedy's on here, and that's exciting to see. I know my buddy and coaching graduate Jim Kinney's on here as well. So it's always cool to see some friendly names, and excited to meet some new people as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
That was incredible. And guys, I mean, if you're listening to him, I mean, he leads by example. He was a #1 income earner in his business, and he didn't stop. Listen to him. Listen to how he's speaking. He didn't stop there and put his feet up. He kept going. Never wanted to go back to where he was. He just keeps learning, lifelong learning, and it shows. And all kinds of appreciate you and your content today.
Yeah, that Rank Makers is a game changer for sure. I mean, it's as soon as Russ heard me talking about it and like, what are you listening to, Ray again? I'm like, you got to check this out. And you know, he was in. So again, I know we're not pitching, but I want to give you kudos because what you and Jess are doing is phenomenal for the industry. So thank you for everything that you do.
And congratulations on the close of your home today.
Thank you.
More than deserved.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you.
I'm probably going to spend some time watching This Is Us with my wife. She's on that show right now, and she forces me to watch it. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me out here, and I hope to see you know, some of you soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Ray.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on.
Yep.